My name is Lawrence Michel, and I'm some Altgein Ermsrijk band. Storytelling means to me a lot of different ways. It means that I can recollect way back when I was a child until where I heard the story, when I heard the story, what a story works out for me. That when I understand the story is that the story is interchangeable into human, animal world. But to me it means that I can talk that in my language, and it enriches my life because I know I can tell a story from the language point of view, and how pure the language is for me. When I'm telling a story, I enjoy my language. The words I use describe the story.
Wow.
The story was about starvation. Was a monster, was a man who controlled the mountain where he was, and he controlled a little lot totally for himself, for his own good, because he can eat anytime he wants to, and he didn't want anybody to touch it. So when the hunters came, he had a way of killing everything, so he can control the people by starving them. But in the meantime, when this young man practiced to be medicine man, he became one, and he was told to go and tackle this monster, the starvation. So when he did, he transformed into the smallest little thing he could be. He started as a hummingbird, but yet starvation man could see him. He pretty near sucks him when he saw him, but he managed to get away. So the young man went back, thought about it, and then he sang a song, and again he wanted the power to get this monster. So he transformed himself into a bumblebee. And then he thought he would get up to the mountain where this starvation man was living. No, he saw him. He had real good eyes. He just about get caught, sucked in, you know. You can suck this in. No, he got away. He transformed into a flea. And the flea is very small. And he thought he would get by that. First, then he still didn't. Starvation man saw him again. He pretty near got caught, so he went back. He thought about it. And the sand fly, very small little fly. First of all, he flew around freely down there. And he said, gee, I can. So the sandfly went up all the noses of the this starvation man's deer, lots of deer down there. He kills the deer, and the starvation man says, "Who's that down there?" And he saw him. He couldn't see him. So he said, "Now I know he can't see me." So the sandfly flies right up there, up to the highest mountain where this monster man is, the starvation man. Oh, he was ever ugly. But first he'd go in his hair, right? And he couldn't get him out.
When I catch out the wheel, who's loud, wait, oh, you're so funny, wait, can I just
So he went up his nose. Oh, and in his brain. Oh, he couldn't do nothing. He kills that. He kills the monster. He finally did. And when he come out, he transformed himself into his natural self again. Right away he thought about the people, his people down there, all the people that the monster killed. He collected all his bones, put them together, brought them to life, tell them, "Here's all the deer, bring it down to your families. But I got one more job to do." And he went back up, and he went to see the monster man dead there. And he said he didn't know how. He said he transformed him into a smaller man, smaller being. But he brought him to life. He said, "Okay, you'll be around the world, but you'll never ever control again."
Kalmuk, Mataylo, Yahmi. I say, Makanahuatu, Kanahuatuahus, Madawas, Kuchakus, Kuchadistelo, you waste
One grandfather used to live in Seminar. He was the one we were scared of the most, but he tells us the most stories. Scares us because my mom and dad used to say, never punished them when they were young. They left it up to Slaa. At that time there was old Pierre Arnoux. He was the one that tells us most of the stories. But he was the disciplinarian, I guess the disciplinarian of the clan. He was the one that does the punishing. Our punishment was get up early, wash everything, make the fire ready for the fire, everything like that. But our stories, he was the one that taught me a lot. Like Secwepemc, when he traveled from Vancouver up the valley, all his stories comes up the valley, up through here, through the glaciers and down, and it goes right down to Oregon. And he went in that through Columbia, but he had left a trail of stories all along. He dies many times, but you know how I guess you heard the story, how he comes alive all the time. His power was given to him by coming alive.